This is the Drunk Tank, ladies and gentlemen, using a Mac, a mic, and nobody's fucking them. Follow Bernie, Gus, and Jeff, it's intense. They're talking all about shit that doesn't make sense. Sometimes there's Gavin, Joel, and a special guest. Nerdy things to say, this thing's totally the best. Bashing the Wii, Modern Warfare 2. Higa Durger, and there's red versus blue. So this is the Drunk Tank, this podcast only owns Gav said headlight fluid.
But it's actually pronounced Joannis.
This theme has gone on too long, Drunk Tank will start now. Actually, just fuck it, Jeff sucks anyhow. Jeff sucks anyhow.
Do you think they'd be pissed that that was probably pretty funny.
We sang over their theme song. Maybe at the end of the podcast.
Yeah, that's a bonus feature. Right
I didn't hear a single word of that song.
Keep listening past the
All
end.
it was Gus.
Well, no,
you'll hear us sing the podcast theme song live.
Beautiful.
Those are like the words to every song that you've ever known in your life, but you weren't quite sure. Somebody made a coffee table book of like lyrics of songs where people thought they knew the lyrics, but they were ridiculously wrong.
Like they had to write it down?
Excuse me while I kiss this guy. Stuff like that. Oh, there's a name.
He
there's a
sang
name for
it
that.
sometimes like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Jimi Hendrix would occasionally sing it like that. And I think if you play like Guitar Hero World Tour and you sing that song, the subtitle is actually "Excuse me while I kiss this guy."
I'm not sure, but I think he was on drugs.
Really?
A lot.
Not sure.
It's what I hear in the pipeline.
There's a bathroom on the right instead of there's a bad moon on the rise. Yeah, that was another one. What is that called? That's actually a term for
what
that.
was it? Blinded by the light, another douche lit up by...
That's not the word?
That's a famous one. I don't know. No one knows the lyrics to that song.
Wrapped up like a douche, right?
Yeah, wrapped up like a douche.
Scene?
Yeah.
No one knows. It's like archaeology. It's like looking at symbols on a wall. No one knows the true lyrics to that song.
You see that? He's already banging on the table, Gus. Gus loves when
Before we go much further, we should do quick intros.
Okay.
I'm Carrie. Hello.
I'm Jackalo.
I'm Jololo.
And I'm Gusalo. That sounds like a lot like a juggalo.
Gus
I like
loves-
starting trends.
Yeah.
You start painting your face, showing
Dude,
up.
I'm all about it. I can't wait to see the photoshops on the website.
This is going to be...
the new Rooster Teeth group, the Gusalos.
The Gusalo Nation. Gusalos for life.
We'll be drinking Shasta instead of Fago.
And then Coolio's going to get it misspelled on his neck.
Does Coolio have?
He has a Juggalo tattoo and is misspelled on his neck.
Wow.
I think there's one G
great.
or something like that.
That's great. I love misspelled tattoos.
Yeah.
Credit to that.
Or like the Japanese tattoos, where it's like that clearly doesn't mean what you probably think it means.
I think most of those are supposed to be Chinese.
Oh, is that what that is?
I think so.
Or
I don't
both.
think they're Japanese.
Whatever.
See, they'd be offended
Probably.
that you even... Cross, what's happening?
How's it going?
Welcome back. So apparently
tired.
you weren't happy with how you sounded on the last podcast.
Well, look. Okay, here's the thing.
Carrie's been begging me to come back on the podcast.
Okay, you're exaggerating a little bit.
No, every week. Please, Gus.
What did you say? Did you say
Every
something
week
about
I say, "Hey,
headlight
Gus, do you
fluid?
need help setting up? I don't mind helping you set up." And I'm hoping if I help you set up, you'll just ask me to stay.
Why
around.
is it that every young person that we bring into this office, they all have the same haircut?
It's because I don't have the time to go get a haircut.
Because you're hip.
The Michael Cera.
Yeah. Sarah.
Okay, no. Here's the thing. Last podcast, they said, "Hey, you want to come talk about Red vs. Blue season 8?" I was like, "Yeah, that sounds great. I did a lot of work. I have all these things to talk about."
Actually, talk about season 7?
What?
I don't know. What mistake did you make?
Wow, don't let Joel
I didn't listen to the podcast.
He's good.
So I come in. I'm like, all right, talk about season 8. Didn't think about anything else to talk about, and then we didn't talk about season 8 at all. So I'm just sitting there. I have nothing important to talk about. Nothing.
So the reason why is because you didn't have anything to talk about?
So you have nothing else going on in your life that you
No,
can bring up in
I've never had
conversation?
anything to talk about on the podcast.
I'm sure you've learned by now since that visit. The podcast never has an itinerary.
Yeah, apparently.
Like we'll have an idea that we want to talk about. Fuck that idea.
I'll bet this podcast is the one we're going to talk about season 8.
All the stuff,
is the one.
all the
This is where
stuff
it's
I
gonna
want to
happen.
talk about, I never talk about. I never
Gold?
want to talk about
We've
stuff
heard,
I
we've
want
heard
to
about
talk
gold and
No, you only got
snakes in
you
beds.
only got to
Get these motherfucking snakes out of my bed.
I gotta stop. I gotta stop
Snakes
myself.
and pools and...
So wait a minute. Didn't you say you had a turkey story last time you were on?
No, see, I don't want to talk about it.
See, I'm giving you a chance. It's
No,
what you
I
wanna
don't
talk
because you're
about.
going to edit it out.
No, come on. Why would he edit that out?
Because I had a great story about Cross on the last one that got edited out. No one
really?
wanted me to go forward with it.
I don't know.
Go,
this one.
I don't care.
No, see,
I don't
talk
care.
about it.
See, now it's awkward.
Ooh.
Now it's awkward.
We said nothing but good things about you, Carrie.
Always.
Yeah.
And don't ask to hear the original because I lost it.
Carrie's awesome.
I was also in the room, so I heard it. It was one of the video podcasts.
Carrie, did you start as an intern?
Yes.
Okay.
For like 2 months.
And you somehow managed to work your way in?
Yeah, nobody asked me to leave.
Crocker spent many a bloodied weekend with me, working on
With snakes?
hard projects.
Joe had the snake problem.
We wish it was snakes.
So how did you join this company? I think that's an enigma for me. How'd you get here?
I knew Bernie.
Okay.
I had met him at PAX. I had talking to him, and I came down to the office one time, and I hung out for a little bit and helped Joel.
You're really setting a bad
Yeah,
precedent.
I'll get
It's like I had a conversation with him at PAX, then I just.
Well, no, I mean, like I'd been talking
This
to
is
Bernie.
not going to be the traditional way.
No.
Yeah, for the record,
Yes.
if you look on our website, in the FAQ, we have an internship and job application procedure.
Yes, there's an email.
Follow those.
Yes.
Do not follow Carrie's example.
No.
That was a long time ago.
It was a long time
We
ago.
don't
That
do that
shit
anymore.
doesn't happen.
No.
Do not do that.
If you show up at the office, we will call the police. They're literally next door to our office.
Yeah.
We have a button we push and they show up.
Walk there.
We have a red phone we just pick up, get a hold of the mayor.
I tried to talk them into a bat symbol, but they didn't go for it.
The rooster up on the side of the building or
Yeah.
something. Okay, so you met up with Bernie.
Yeah.
Then you came down, worked with Joel.
Yeah,
And
then the next time I came down here, I was like, "Hey, can I be the summer intern?" And Bernie said yes.
nice.
And that
Okay.
was it.
But that was before.
That was like 2 summers ago,
That
right?
was
That's
the
2 summers
first.
ago.
That was the first time that the word intern was like really muttered at all.
Really
Yeah.
used.
And then once the term intern was, I see it banged my thing against the mic.
Yeah, you did.
It's like a genie. Once you use the word, that's it.
It's
Yeah,
out
it's
there.
out there.
It's out there.
Yeah.
That's a very good
You
example.
have to include it in the FAQ and everything.
I don't think I didn't have a title at the beginning because I wasn't an intern because you guys didn't have interns. So I was just like the guy that was here and sitting on the couch.
That was on his business card. The
Yeah.
guy who was here and sitting on the couch.
I want to get that title.
I'm
trying to get it back.
What was your title, Joel? Like I know everyone had wacky titles. Did you have a wacky title for a while?
I did. I don't remember what it was.
I think mine was regional monkey initially, and I gave myself a promotion to director of moon-based operations.
Nice.
And now I think we're all corporate. And now I think I'm director of technology.
Ah.
I think mine had something to do with partying, and now there's no partying.
There's no partying in your life.
No.
You should be like,
So Joel has like this nice corner office upstairs, and he's got like this beautiful window that faces
living the dream.
living the dream. He's turned that thing into a cave. He's blocked off the windows. He shuts the door. It's like dark in there.
There's like some
There's
weird
bats in
guy
there.
screaming on his computer about buying gold. And
It's good time with the cave.
Is it?
It's good. Yeah, it's good times. You can't see the screen the way the
You
office is set
specifically,
up.
when we first moved in, you specifically requested the office without windows.
Well, I don't know. I don't like. It's hot. It's hot here in Texas, and it's just like I like the idea of cool, dark.
man, you aren't kidding. Like last night, I think at 1 a.m. it was still 91 degrees.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It was 100 degrees at like 9:30.
Yeah.
And
At 9:30
Yeah.
at night, the sun was gone.
they said it was going to be 107. Is that right, Jack?
Something like that.
It was 107 yesterday. Also, that's the past 2 days in a row. The city of Austin has set records for amount of energy used.
Yay! How we not? We had brownouts the last time this kind of stuff happened. Right?
That was in the winter, wasn't it?
That was like 3 years ago. What was it? The winter?
I
don't know.
This past winter, we had some brownouts.
Okay.
Remember, but we didn't lose power here at the office.
No, I remember because I was with the old company. I used
But
to
I think
work
you're right.
for.
2
That-
years ago,
2 or 3 years ago.
the last serious drought, they also had some brownouts.
When I first moved to Los Angeles, it was like, oh, we have brownouts. I was like, what? There's brownouts all of a sudden? It was like new to LA too at the time. It was like
Yeah.
during Enron and all that stuff. And it was like, really? We're in Western civilization with brownouts? And now I'm back here, and it's like, well, now we're having brownouts here? That's crazy. In LA, it makes sense. It doesn't make sense here. It's
Man.
out of control.
Sunday night, I was playing Battlefield with Joel, and we ended up playing till probably about midnight or so.
Yes.
And I was sitting there on my couch.
Bad Company 2.
Bad Company 2. Oh god, like best game ever. But I was sitting there
The
on my couch.
multiplayer on that's great.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
probably the best multiplayer. Out
awesome.
There, but
Yeah.
I was sitting there and I was like, it's really hot in here. And I went and checked my AC, and it was 87 degrees, and I had it set for 75. And I was like, oh shit, my AC's busted.
That's like our upstairs AC.
Yeah, dude, there's nothing worse than like having to try to sleep through
Was
that.
someone able to fix it? Like, did you get someone out there?
I actually, first of all, I went on Reddit. I went on the Austin subreddit. I'm like, help dying in South Austin. Does anyone know a repair guy? And someone actually found me. Like, someone recommended this guy named Dell here in South Austin. He was awesome.
Did
they
he sell computers on the side?
No, one L. But then the next morning at like 7 a.m., as soon as this guy opened, I called him. He's like, well, we can be out there by 11. And then came out the next day and took care of it and fixed it. And then he looked at my attic, and he's going to fix more stuff for me. So
Nice.
How many times did the air conditioning break at the old office?
Too many times.
Oh, it was constant. It never worked, is the deal.
So think about this. What if we were in the old office this summer?
Jesus Christ.
It would be unbearable.
Like the old office, we'd set the AC to like 60 degrees and let it crank overnight
Right.
to try to cool off as much as possible. And then during the day, there's no way it could keep up.
was-
It would just get progressively hotter.
It was like a large body of water. There's like a lake, where it's like.
And then Jeff and I worked back in the back room where it was just like this heat, it was like an oven back there too. That was the worst.
Last summer, my AC went out of my car, so I had a 20-minute drive to the office with no AC. And then our AC would be broken in the office, and somehow it would be hotter than what was outside. Like I would open the door to our office, and
That's
like
right.
an oven.
It would be hot. It would be hot.
It's like opening an oven door, and it's just hits you. So I'd be just like sweating all day.
Yeah,
all day.
Did you see the guy who made cookies on his dashboard of his car?
No.
Like he had one of those like solar reflectors that you put up in the window, but he put a tray of cookies in front of that and then put the reflector behind it, and it got up to like 175 in his car, and they actually baked cookies on his dashboard of his car. We should try that.
I've always said that, and I think they did this back in World War I, where they would put like grills over the engines of vehicles, and they would cook food as they were driving, and they would use the hot water from the radiator to make like coffee and tea and stuff.
Ugh.
It was like the old ambulance drivers in World War I used to do that all the time. I feel like that's the kind of thing you should still be able to do.
That's
fucking carve out a little place in your engine compartment.
That's totally what it's going to be like here. In
Braise some
3 or 4
stuff.
years.
Gas up, put some more cookies out on the plate.
We should make a cookbook where it's just like urban cookbook living, where it's just like in Austin, Texas during the summer. Just come up with how many dishes can we come up with?
How to make eggs on the
Yeah,
sidewalk.
how many different ways can you make eggs on the sidewalk? And
Yeah.
put it into a cookbook.
But eggs and cookies are easy. We should do like lasagna. So it's got like layers, like really or like a real thick cut of beef, like a real thick one. See if you can get like
Put
to
a
the
fillet
center
out there.
Yeah.
Well, if you cook a brisket, you cook it like at 250 for like
That's true.
8 hours or so. So if you can figure out a way to get.
We could have a competition because Jeff has that
Big green
egg
egg.
bomb thing.
Big green egg.
They have this grill. Jeff has this grill that looks like if you've seen Fat Man and with the story
Fat Man
about
and
the
Little Boy?
the story about the atomic bombs.
Yeah.
This thing looks like an atomic bomb, or it looks like the escape pod from Star Wars.
It does look like that escape pod,
right?
Yeah.
So you got the little
you
thing on
expect to
top.
open it up and
Yeah.
see droids inside. We're like, where's our master? That's how droids talk, by the way. But we should have a competition. He cooked up a brisket that was the best. It was phenomenal.
It was just
It was
amazing.
amazingly good. But we should have a contest. We should buy 2 briskets and we'll put one in the egg. And then we'll somehow construct. Maybe we'll use the thing that Griffin built, the Captain America. We'll stick a brisket in the Captain America, stick it in the parking lot, and see what happens.
No way anything can compete with the big green egg.
God,
I guarantee you.
I think it's
That
amazing.
thing's incredible. I mean, when you feel it's like insulated. It's got like layers. I can't even describe
It's amazing. It's like layers of porcelain or something.
It's-
Man.
It's unbelievable.
We've had brisket in there 3 times now, and every single time it's been better than the last.
I mean, if you put a piece of uranium inside of that thing
Why
and
do you keep
close
talking
it,
about bombs and nuclear material? We're going to get on like some kind of weird watch list.
that's okay. It's more viewers. If we put a piece of uranium on the inside of that thing and closed it, I bet we would be fine.
We need to increase
Like
our
I bet we wouldn't get any like.
we can make,
we need to increase our listeners in Russia.
I bet it would also make the brisket taste even better.
yeah, make it. We make it
It
like
would
5.
make
It would add a
Taste
nice
even
flavor.
better.
Yeah.
It would.
Get some glow in the dark brisket.
Yeah.
Or when there's a brownout, you can still see your food.
Yeah,
Yeah,
open the
totally.
fridge. Oh, there it is.
This all makes sense,
Walk
right?
around using your brisket as a flashlight, just eating a little of it. Keep walking.
This makes sense. Multifunctional food.
I like it.
All right, Joel, you're on it.
All right, do that. Make it happen.
We'll do
Get
it.
uranium. Amazon.
Where can I invest? Where can I subscribe to your
I think
newsletter?
I've seen websites where you can buy nuclear material
Yeah.
Really?
online.
Yeah.
Can you? We should try and do that for the podcast. Just see what happens.
Yeah, let's just see what
We'll
happens.
just send it to.
How many FBI agents do you think show up at your door?
Did you hear that guy, I think in Norway, who was building a nuclear device in his kitchen? And the reason why he got caught was because he called the cops to find out if it was legal. And they showed up and they took it. They're like, nope, not legal. They grabbed it from him. They made him stop.
You have to send me a link to that. I
Yeah.
don't believe that. Was that on The Onion?
It was on Reddit. It was on Reddit last night. It was some guy who was building a nuclear device in his kitchen, like a nuclear
what kind
reactor.
of nuclear device?
Like he was trying to
a nuclear device for peace.
they're trying to make power or something. But
Trying to make power.
yeah.
Huh.
There's probably more efficient ways to go about doing that.
Yeah. But I love that he called the cops like, is this legal? And they're like, nope. And just showed up and took it away.
Unlock your door. We'll go take a look and let you know.
Yeah, no, I would never want to get near anything. I mean, I don't know. You see enough movies where people are like, make mistakes near uranium. That's a mistake you don't want to make.
You know, I never thought that stuff was too dangerous. I always thought it was pretty safe, and I still to an extent think it's fairly safe.
What do you
except
mean?
This stuff that happened in Japan is like really changing the way I think about
Really?
about nuclear reactors. Yeah,
God, I feel totally the opposite way. I feel like we have to have nuclear reactors.
Yeah,
we have to have them.
I'm still for them. I still think that.
I mean, keep in mind that got hit by like a magnitude 8 earthquake and then a tsunami.
Yeah, but still, it happened.
It was a thousand year event, right?
It will happen again, so
every 1,000 years.
Yeah.
We should just build nuclear reactors like in space and just like beam down power somehow.
I think they're working on that, I think, right?
That's what they say. That one of the
Wasn't that a
hardest
giant
things in the
satellite
world
thing?
is to transfer power.
Yeah.
Like even across power lines, you by the time the power you lose power like crazy.
You get heat, and the resistance causes
Right.
you to lose it. That's a big problem with wind power, right? They can't effectively transmit it.
and also wind power doesn't work. No.
Well,
it works.
Not really. It works during times when you don't need it. Is the problem?
I don't know anything about.
Like wind is abundant typically in times when people don't need a lot of power. Like so, it'll happen. Like say, for example, at sunset when things are already starting to get cooler. And if I understand correctly, there's no efficient way to store wind power, so they have to transmit it instantly, which is also difficult. And then you have to use it as it's being generated.
Wow.
Batteries.
Have you been in
Charge batteries.
Have you taken I-10 into California before?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like that giant wind farm right there. There's some big concert venue in that area, like
Yeah.
Not Coachella.
Matt actually shot a music video in that.
Oh,
at
really?
one point, yeah, a long time ago.
Those things are huge.
Have you ever
They're huge,
seen
yeah.
the semis driving through Austin that have the
Yeah.
blades for those? And they're just like, like it's too big for
They are
one semi. They have to
giant.
like
Yeah.
put two beds on a semi.
Yeah, it's
This is
double
going to
semi.
sound strange, but like a stoplight is way bigger than what you think it is. You're just used to seeing it up, and so you have this idea of how big a stoplight. If you actually saw one, they're way bigger than
They're
what you
huge,
think
yeah.
they are. Yeah, and so
just because they're like the
it's the
distance.
same. It's the same scale with wind. It's the same amount of measurement as the lens.
So what you're saying is they should put little turbines on every stoplight.
That's
And they
exactly-
could power the stoplight with the little turbine.
They could. It would totally make sense.
I think we're onto something. And then they could cook a brisket.
And they could right. We've come full circle.
Full circle.
You see my tweet?
What tweet?
You see my gold on fire tweet?
Oh God.
Gold on fire.
I unfollowed.
King Gold on fire?
On fire.
I unfollowed you. I remember now. You were drunk and tweeting on a plane once, and I got sick of it.
We're like rage.
Oh, is that no? That was in the airport. I think when you got drunk in the airport. That was in Vegas. I think.
Yeah, it was. I remember.
Yeah, I was really drunk on the way back from Vegas, and I decided I'm just going to tweet. Because I never tweet, so I felt like I had to make up
You were
for it.
tweeting like every 30 seconds.
I was like,
Yeah.
every 30 seconds, it's like a dialogue.
Joel, when are we going to Vegas? Are we ever going to Vegas?
Soon, because
I'm going to Vegas.
I've now canceled 2 trips to Vegas, and so I'm building up a big flight credit. Like slowly but surely, I'm transferring all my money into unspent
into credits.
flight miles.
So you're
Like
lo-
Southwest Airlines has all my.
That's a sound investment.
That's a sound investment, right? It's I got to get that before they take it away from me. So
So I'm going to Vegas for a bachelor party next Sunday. So I'm going to be out there for a few days.
I'll go this weekend.
Well, not this week.
I'm either going. I'm going somewhere this weekend. I'm going to see the Rangers play this weekend, or I'm going to Vegas. I'm going to do something. I'll go to Vegas soon. I want to go to Vegas.
Who
soon.
are they
Go to
playing?
Vegas.
I think they're playing the Indians. I'm not sure.
Don't lean over the railing.
God,
don't grab the
dang,
ball. Don't
dude,
grab the ball.
It's awful, right?
It's like two years in a row, a day apart from the 1 year anniversary of the last time.
Yeah, it's funny when that happened.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
For all those, for all those who don't know what happened, it was horrible. One of the outfielders threw a ball to one of the fans.
Like just up in the crowd.
Yeah, and he was in the
Between
front
innings.
row.
It was the end of the inning, so he threw the ball up.
Yeah, and it was the throw was I guess basically to him or whatever, and it was it's sort of not that big of a drop from where he was. It was only like a 7-8 foot drop.
No, I think it was like
I thought it was
20.
like 12.
I thought it was.
I don't think it's that much.
thought it was 20.
I've sat in those seats.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, I mean maybe it is 20.
I think
don't know,
but
but it wasn't.
the first one was a lot farther.
Yeah,
The first one was a
30.
much
Yeah.
I mean, the first one was that typical on the decks. You know, when you have that picture of someone falling from the
Right.
deck. But this wasn't that. This is a guy in the outfield on the front row. So, and he tried to catch the ball and just sort of reached for it and fell over the railing, and it was. Even the people there, it wasn't like you wouldn't think that someone was going to die from
Yeah.
a fall, but he I guess landed on his head or something like that and died.
You
Horrible.
You fall wrong. I mean, you could die from 5 or 6 feet.
You can, and it's like when I pointed that out to Gus was like,
Gus.
yeah, I remember texting because I was like,
oh.
Gus, look at this. And you immediately were like, wow, the same exact thing happened like last year almost.
A day apart.
Crazy.
And then you see the not the World Series, the All-Star game, like the next week, almost the exact same thing happened.
It wasn't even the next week. It was like 4 days later.
That's right. And then, but these guys' friends like caught him as he was falling over.
They were like-
there's like a photo of them like holding on to this guy. He's like hanging off, and they pulled him back up.
I hate that stuff.
Does that mean they're going to start putting like chain link fences? in front
Probably
of
it's
it?
going to be like a
I mean,
hockey game where they
Yeah,
put like
they
a glass
they
wall.
put the glass everywhere.
God, it's just, that's a bummer. So you brought me down.
You
You brought me down.
Well, hey, the Rangers are doing good this season. They're doing really good right now. They got a bunch of good trades, right? Look at us talking about sports in the podcast. I'm sorry, guys.
No, fuck it. I don't care. I've never cared.
Okay.
I care.
We talk about what we talk about. Get the fuck out then. You look pained, Joel.
Oh man.
Joke, I don't want to say it.
Okay.
It's so bad.
Joel always podcasts with one hand behind his back.
That's
you,
true.
You never get the full Joel
That's true.
experience.
And when it slips out, it's glorious. It's like,
Then you find out there was a snake living in a bed for a month.
it's like what? And then he retracts it all.
Those little fuckers will get everywhere. They're awful.
Little. I thought it was
Those
huge.
big fuckers get everywhere.
So Gus, how awesome is Breaking Bad?
It's really, really
I
good.
love that show. We can't
It's,
talk about it, but I love that show.
I read the other day that they may be the next season is going to be their last season, and they may be moving to another network other than AMC.
I've read a bunch of conflicting reports. Apparently, AMC was trying to shorten their season to
Yeah,
7 episodes.
Yeah, for budget reasons, AMC wanted them to do an 8-episode final season.
Yeah.
Which the creator didn't want to do.
But
He
see,
wanted to do the normal 13.
Now, where did you get the thing where he was saying he wants to end it next season?
I read it, I think, on... It was either the Entertainment Weekly website or IGN.
Okay, so somewhere legit. It wasn't
Yeah.
someone's blog or anything.
No.
Huh.
And they said that next season will be the final season. And frankly, I don't know how they're going to even get through this season. It seems
Dude.
like this season, everyone's on a fucking...
Well, like we're at 3 episodes in at
Crash
this
course.
point, and it's like they're just winding up the toy, and it's like it's going to explode, and everything's going to go
The
crazy.
moral of the story is, if you don't watch Breaking Bad, you're missing probably the best show ever on TV.
Yeah,
Really?
on cable TV, yes. Like I don't know about it. Like HBO's got some amazing stuff.
Is
too,
it better?
but, like,
Is it better
right
than
now,
Lost?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
I miss everything. I miss Lost. I miss Breaking Bad. I miss
They have
all
this thing
TV shows.
called DVDs.
I have the
and
first season.
Blu-rays and Netflix.
I have the first season on Blu-ray. I'll loan it to you.
I do too.
It's fantastic. Do you watch a show?
I've watched the first 2 episodes, and then we got busy with production stuff, so I couldn't
God.
keep watching. And then I just found Mad Men's on Netflix.
Do the pilot
So,
episode.
I'm done.
The first pilot episode is so good, or the only pilot
Yeah,
episode.
the pilot's
good.
Pilot's great.
But anyway, fantastic show. If you're not watching it, you should watch it. It's on AMC Sunday night.
Or
Seems like
Zune.
eight-
Like, I don't have cable, so I watch it on Zune the next day. If you have an Xbox or Zune Pass, you can just watch it like that. Or I think it's on iTunes too. Fuck it.
Is it?
Everything's on
Whatever you want, man.
Seems like AMC's cranking out some good stuff over the past couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got Mad Men, Breaking Bad. I don't know what else.
Well,
for
them,
the,
that's-
the Walking Dead.
Walking Dead. Yeah.
Walking
Because
Dead.
I read also that they want to cut. They did cut the Walking
That's
Dead.
why Darabont left.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Back when I was in LA, AMC was just like, they were just getting started. It was like you'd work on their productions, and none of their productions were SAG. They were all AFTRA because they were all cheaper.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just real kind of not good quality stuff or whatever. And it's like, wow, they've really
SAG and AFTRA are different.
different unions,
Different
right?
unions.
Yeah. So at the time, AFTRA was considered like cheaper, than SAG.
Most video game voiceover work is AFTRA, right?
It is because AFTRA is basically VO sort of stuff, and Screen Actors Guild is more on camera sort of stuff. But there's blending of the two.
So the audio podcast is AFTRA, and the video podcast is SAG.
don't tell Hollywood. Don't tell Hollywood.
Well, you're starting to see more people like John Favreau was in that Freddie Wong video and stuff like that. Like, how do people get away with that kind of stuff? Like, how do SAG actors?
The internet.
Well, I mean, right.
Yeah.
Typically, there's no contract that really covers the internet. So.
Okay, so no one gets in trouble for that stuff, maybe, or is it all just still up in the air?
They probably don't. They probably don't care about the internet yet.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
also a leverage thing and a lot of other things. I'm not sure how deeply I want to get into this.
I'm sure one, they don't care because the money is insignificant in their terms, and two, they reviewed it as promotion for the Cowboys vs. Aliens
Yeah,
movie.
I guess so.
So I'm sure, like between the two, they're like, "Fuck it."
Yeah, makes sense. I don't know. I'm curious about that stuff. Like, I don't understand the whole unions and everything like that. When I worked out in LA, it was like everyone I heard was talking about, like, oh, I'm trying to join the directors union. I'm trying to join the writers union.
Yeah.
It's like, like PAs, like, well, if I do this for another 6 hours, I can get this, which makes me get into a directors union. It's like, what? What the fuck? But
Well, yeah.
I guess
mean,
that's-
that's definitely absolutely. If you're there, I mean, you got to get in one of the unions.
yeah,
I mean,
that's how you make your money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, all non-union stuff, you're not going to make anything. I mean, yeah.
I
Basically,
can
people.
vouch for that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. All PAs are trying to get into the DGA so they can become, assistant, directors or whatever, and then the camera people trying to get into the camera union and so forth.
Sweet.
Yeah.
What's the editors union? Like the ESC or AS?
I'm not sure they're tied with somebody. I'm not really sure. Everything
Or
I
like ACE.
It's ACE,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
American Cinema Editors or something like
Yeah.
that.
That was always the
That's
thing.
what
I
it
was
is
like,
now.
That's what I want to do when I grow up. I always wanted to be an editor. I still kind of want to be an editor. It's fun.
Well, you edit stuff constantly.
Yeah.
I do.
You totally
You
edit.
are an
You're good
editor.
at it.
Thank you.
You edit like no
You
one's
edit
business.
Awu, horse, fails, some other shit,
Other things.
walkthroughs. Look at you. You're a fucking editing machine.
Man.
You should start your own guild. I said guild. Your own union.
Start my own guild.
I've got Diablo. I have guild on the mic. So I was looking at a story here I wanted to talk about. Did you hear that when Diablo 3 comes out, that they're going to have a real money auction house?
I mentioned that in Nauru this week, as a matter of fact.
You're gonna be able to buy and sell in-game items using real money.
They're trying to ruin people's lives at this point. Like they're
What do
actively
you mean?
trying.
What do you mean real? Like
So
Like cash money.
here's a screen,
Like-
an example of the interface.
like
If you wanna-
dollars?
yeah,
Because
if you wanna
dollars
buy-
is not real money.
If you want to buy that helmet, it costs.
It costs $4 gold.
It's more real than in-game gold
Fiat
and
currency.
bitcoins.
So you start. I wonder if you could like invest in the Diablo currency. There's that Bitcoins guy, right? The same sort of idea, basically.
we talked about that at one point.
Yeah.
Stay away from that.
Yeah,
That's the bottom line is
that-
stay
that
away
was
from
dumb.
that. Yeah, that's weird. I mean, when you think about it, like even the currency of like Microsoft points or whatever, you know, that's I wasn't sure where you're going with that, but it's sort of like you think that's going to open up more revenue for them, obviously.
Oh yeah.
I think so. I think the points are different though. Like points are you're buying DLC and shit like that. You know, this is like, oh, I want a new helmet to use in the game.
And then Blizzard takes a fee. Like Blizzard takes a fee for
Or it's-
every
or it's-
time you make a transaction.
So are these like better items?
Yeah, it's like
basically?
you ever play World of Warcraft and
So
you're
this is
like,
like-
you kill
this is like-
someone and they drop a helmet. And you're like, oh, that's a much better helmet than I got.
Yeah.
I'm either going to use it or I'm going to go sell it.
See, I'm not sure I'm a fan of this because I mean I remember Magic the Gathering back in the day, which was this card game that all my nerd friends would play.
I know Magic.
And basically, the premise of Magic the Gathering is, from what I could tell, is whoever spent the most goddamn fucking money on the decks and got all the great cards basically beat the crap out of everyone else.
That's every trading card game.
Yeah.
Right.
I
That
play
is
a
true.
lot. That's every.
so I'm
every
not
one of them.
sure I'm like really committed to the premise of like this is a great game. Basically, the kid who happens to have the most money is going to win.
It's like baseball.
It's like baseball.
It's
It's just
the
like
Yankees.
baseball.
It's the Yankees.
God.
So, but you love baseball. What's the difference?
Well, I irrationally love baseball. I mean, I have a love-hate relationship with baseball. I mean, I really do.
I don't know.
Love
Joel.
the game of baseball,
I'm
like
sensing
college
some,
baseball.
I'm
high
sensing
school-
some hypocrisy.
No,
can
no,
love
you're right.
baseball
It is.
and you're hating on card games here.
It's the Players Association. I'm not.
So no more NFL lockout.
Hell
Yeah, is that right? No
Football's
NFL
starting up,
lockout?
man. Vince Young's playing for the Eagles now. He's backing up Michael Vick. So it's Michael Vick and Vince Young. up
Where did
in
Reggie Bush go?
Philadelphia.
Reggie Bush is in
Miami.
Miami.
I remember like it was like
That's where running back's going to die.
Yeah, he'll be there with Ricky Williams.
I remember like 80, I think it was like 86, 85, 86, something like that. Maybe 87, where the players struck and they brought on scabs. That was
man.
the greatest 6 weeks of football ever played. Because at every snap, you would have no idea what was going to happen.
That's when
It was
Keanu Reeves was playing, right?
Balls bouncing off people's heads. But, yeah, it was utter chaos. And like the teams that were like the great powerhouses were terrible, and the teams that used to be terrible were awesome. It was fantastic. You just had no idea what was going to happen. You weren't sure if they were playing rugby or not. It was great.
They're playing soccer out there for some reason.
I say bring them on, man. I don't care.
But anyway, football's starting up again. I'm very excited.
I just want to see he hate me. I want to bring that guy
He
back.
hate me. Who hates you? Them over there. That's
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 I'm being
XFL?
too referential at this
No,
point.
see,
No one knows what the fuck I'm talking
I'm
about.
with you on that one, Joel.
I have no
I'm glad
idea.
somebody-
That was the XFL, which was Vince McMahon's.
Remember XFL? And they could
I
put whatever they wanted on the back of their
Yeah.
jerseys.
I probably-
And so one guy put on the back of his jersey, he hate me.
That was
I
his
don't
name.
remember that.
His name was He Hate Me. He ended up playing in the NFL for a season or two too. But yeah, he was like a linebacker. No, he was a running back or something like that. And so
I remember he returned kicks in the
yeah,
XFL.
And I
whatever
remember,
it was, yeah.
so the XFL, instead of having a coin flip, they had two players lined up side by side and a football, and whoever got the football got to pick what they want to do.
Great.
So it was like they would barge at it, and then
Great.
the first game of the season, and I think the Florida game, Orlando had a team. One of the guys got injured in the run.
Oh, my
he
God.
like tore an ankle or something like that. But I remember watching XFL, and they had like the scantily clad cheerleaders, like in the dodgeball movie, like dancing around.
Right.
Bob Costas was one of the commentators on it. And at one point, they put the camera pretty much up this girl's skirt. And Bob Costas says, I feel uncomfortable right now. It was like
That guy.
It was like the most honest,
That guy is great.
funniest thing in the world ever.
Meanwhile, Marv Albert was wishing for more.
You know what would be the greatest professional sport in the world?
What's that?
Like we take Major League Baseball or football or whatever it is, and everything is the same, except for the teams have to they have like a random number generator that picks one of the seats in the crowd. And then a random person, you must play the random person, must be on the team. Who wouldn't want to go to that game?
God, I would love
How
that.
awesome would that be? Like
sounds
all of a
awesome.
sudden you're sitting in the stands like, oh, now I'm facing Randy
That
Johnson.
sounds awesome.
That's so
How awesome is that? That would be the greatest sport
Except
ever.
they would have to give you a diaper if you're fucking facing Randy Johnson. If I'm out
It
there,
would be great.
Oh, fuck.
It's like- You stick a fan out there, and it's like he's the one wild card. You just don't know what's going to happen.
The best I could hope for would be getting hit by a pitch, and that's a horrible thing to say. The best I could hope for is getting hit by Randy Johnson.
It would be awesome.
Dude, you saw what
It
Randy
would be
Johnson did to
awesome.
that bird, right? He blew up that bird.
It would be awesome.
Have you seen that video, Carrie?
No.
Every game would be a sellout.
Randy Johnson's
it?
one of the hardest pitchers in the MLB. Is he retired now?
I think
Oh, he's retired. Yeah,
But at one point during a game, he was pitching and he throws lightning, and a bird flew in front of the batter and the ball hit it square. And
was
the bird the feathers just poofed off.
it was
of him,
like
and the bird
watching
was
lightning
dead.
strike a
It
pillow.
was like, you ever see those old cartoons where like a
explode.
bird like loses its feather and all of a sudden it's cooked and steaming? It was like that.
It was just like that. I mean, like the
sounds
bird
awesome.
vanished.
It was like watching
was like-
lightning hit a pillow.
It was like when Fabio hit the bird with his face on the roller coaster.
I can't get past that. I can't get. Every time I see Fabio, that's all I think about.
Well, did you see? He lost the Old Spice competition.
Not really.
Well, I mean, big shock there,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
God, you can't speak
don't mess with
English.
that formula.
Man, he was pretty bad. Like I know it was like they were trying to do a clever marketing thing, but it's like no, he can't talk. You can't have someone who doesn't speak proper English
That
trying to
guy,
advertise your product.
the guy, I guess he's a former NFL guy.
Isaiah
whatever.
Mustafa.
I think he is that campaign.
He's perfect.
I mean, it's like
He's
you
amazing.
can't. I mean, not to take anything away from the the directors of the writing, whatever, because
Yeah.
all of that's part of it. But it's like
His
he's so
presence
closely
and-
tied to it
yeah.
at this point. You
Yeah.
know?
Well, I mean, they do that. Like they're doing that viral stuff where they'll be like they would spend 8 hours just in that set and just responding to people on Twitter and like doing videos for
right.
people. That's so smart. Like that's so. I mean, that cost them nothing, right? And they pumped out so much video and got so much coverage.
I don't know if it cost him nothing.
Well, I mean, nothing as compared to like multi-million-dollar commercial shoots, stuff like that.
yeah, but with a multi-million-dollar shoot, they're hitting millions of people instead of like spending money to hit one person, like targeted one at a time.
But then they get people like me talking about it on podcasts. They go out to millions of people.
a very highly rated podcast.
There you
when
go.
I-
I'm like you, Jack. Like that advertising is the reason I use Old Spice.
Oh no, I'm the same way.
Yeah, like,
Old Spice,
really?
That's like the one thing that we agree on.
Old
in
Spice
life.
is the only product I seek out and purchase based on their
Yeah,
advertising.
I mean, if you're
I'm
a
the same
dude and it's like they do something and it kind of makes you laugh or whatever, it's like, all right, I will support that ad.
This
campaign.
portion of the podcast brought to you by Old Spice.
Like, you remember the Bruce Campbell campaign they did?
Yeah.
Like, Bruce Campbell was the
Yeah.
spokesman for a long time. He was great.
I didn't think it was that. I didn't think it was all as great.
No?
Well, people seem to really like Bruce Campbell. I don't.
Yeah,
I'm not like part of that cult, but it seems like there are a lot of people who are like very fanatic about
I
it.
love Bruce Campbell. I love Bruce Campbell.
It still didn't affect you.
I didn't buy. It didn't work for me. I met him one time.
Yeah.
This is really dumb. I was working. Remember the show VIP
were you
with
putting a-
Pamela Anderson?
Oh, yeah,
oh, my
yeah.
God, yeah.
I was working on VIP, and it was a show where it was
At that
like
time-
we were supposed to be a bunch of nerds standing in line to get someone's autograph or something like that.
Okay.
And so like I go to makeup, and they put me in makeup, and they put these ears on or whatever, and like then they take me to this guy, and they're like, "Joel, we want you to meet our director, Bruce." I'm like. And there's Bruce Campbell looking at me, like
wow.
looking at my ears or whatever. I'm like, that's Bruce Campbell or whatever. So that was really weird. And I came up with this idea where they gave me this little plastic gun because I'm supposed to be a nerd in line. And then like, the she, slick, smart VIP cast walk past the nerds in line and say something coy. And so I came up with the idea, well, wouldn't it be funny if I used the plastic gun to shoot at them after they said their insult or whatever? And they totally thought it was great and they used it. That's my little story.
I'm gonna have to find this clip now.
I know.
I've never actually seen it, but I
Really?
know. Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Is VIP on DVD, you think?
I don't know. We'll have to see.
We'll check Best Buy at lunch.
Embarrassing. I think I'm green and with ears. It's real cheesy.
I'll see if
really
we can find. I don't know how long that show went, but I can't imagine it went.
I can't imagine it
that
went more than a
went,
season.
It went.
No,
I think
it
5
went.
years.
It went like 3 or 4 seasons. I think.
Really?
Yeah, or 4 or 5. Yeah, 4 or 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So your IMDb page is missing out a lot of stuff, Joel.
Well, it's a lot of dumb crap.
Okay, it's still missing out a lot of stuff. Mine has
should
3
fill it out.
softcore pornos on it. So it's like Red versus Blue, this horror movie I worked on, and then 3 softcore
Well,
pornos.
I guarantee you, VIP is going to get added now. Someone listening to the
Yeah,
podcast is going to edit.
absolutely.
Like I've never touched my page, but I swear to God, people who must listen to the podcast or something, and they'll update it or put stuff on there. Like there's a picture of me there. I didn't fucking do that.
Yeah.
No, I did Passions. I did
Yeah.
like 8 episodes of Passions, and that's not on IMDb.
You were the waiter.
There will
on
be.
I had the
Passions, right?
neckerchief. I had a neckerchief.
There's
I
clips
was
of that
aware-
online too.
What's that?
There's clips of that online, right?
Yeah,
I think so. I think I've seen
very
that before.
embarrassing.
Yeah.
Neckerchief.
This is gonna be the best link dump ever.
All right, we gotta wrap this up.
Are you gonna
lick
licked up hot gold on fire?
hot gold on fire?
Can gold actually
Gold
catch
on-
on fire?
I don't think so.
Joel
think
sends
so.
me these links and is like, watch this. And I'm like, oh, what am I watching? And it's like, oh, look, gold's making money. It's like, okay.
I'm just saying, if you listen to the podcast, it's like knowing the future.
It's like
Because I
knowing
say what's going to happen, and then it happens.
Okay, Joel,
And then it happens.
6 months from now, what's going to be the big thing?
In terms of what?
Okay, if I was going to put, if I had $10,000 right now, what would I put it in to make the most amount of money in 6 months?
DGP.
What is that?
It's double gold.
It's like a double stuffed Oreo or something. It's like like gold and like put it on top of it.
It's a multiple of two. It's a multiple of trace and a
That's
multiple
what
of two.
double means.
Every time gold goes up 1%, that goes up 2%.
So why would you
or
ever?
if gold goes down 1%, it goes down. You know the math.
But this is the ratio thing. That's a different 1%.
I was looking for 3%.
But
Where it
what he's
doesn't
probably
exist.
saying is that gold is going to have the biggest gain over the next
Okay.
6 months. So if you could double that gain, then you're really
Okay.
They're gonna have a meeting like in Jackson Hole. The Fed's gonna have it. It's August 27th, so that should be the time where they get together and they're like, "Oh, the economy is going into recession," which obviously it's been going into recession, like I've been saying for a long time. But it's like then they're gonna be like, "Oh, we need more government quantitative easing," and then when they introduce more quantitative easing, then gold's really gonna.
I thought we were in a recession, then we came out of the recession. Are we going back into another
We've
recession?
actually been in. The reality is that no one understands, and no one's going to understand when I say this. No one's going to get this.
Joel
but we've
understands.
been in a depression since 2008. But what happened is when we introduced government stimulus, it masked it. So no one could really tell what was going
So
on.
it's like
Well,
not
now that they
showering,
sort of
and then
stopped
using
it.
like body spray.
Exactly.
The stimulus is
Right.
like Axe body spray.
Eventually, the perfume runs out and the stink gets even worse.
Exactly. The perfume is running out, and it's going to be twice as bad because we used it.
All right.
Okay, we gotta wrap up.
I'm going to
I
take
got
my
a lot of
money.
shit to do.
I'm going to go DGP or whatever it is.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
thanks for listening, everyone.
is it
Thanks for
DGP?
sitting in, guys. You guys are
Thanks, Gus.
Are much funnier than I thought.
You should ramp this up faster, and then the podcast could be even faster. Like they do in
Oh,
ads
yeah.
sometimes. They like speed it up. Like, oh, it talks like this.
Stay tuned for the special bonus song, right?
Oh, yeah.
It'd be like Alvin and Chipmunks.
Bonus song now.
This is the drum tank, ladies and gentlemen.
Everyone sing along. Love together, touch,
Versus blue.
blue.
I'm behind.
Yeah, hold hands.
Actually pronounced joints.
This thing
The song